All right, welcome to Team Call. It is Tuesday, July 5th. Wow, I can't believe that. And we are so excited. We have so many exciting things going on. Summit is next week, so I hope we're going to see you all in Summit in St. Louis. But tonight we have the most exciting thing happening ever. Brooke Chochola, who we always call Chochola, but we're really going to call her by her real name. She is under Brooke Anderson, we're all part of Fit and Fierce. And we are so excited to have her here tonight. She is amazing in every way. I met Brooke at our leadership retreat in Destin, which I was trying to figure out, I think was a year ago. Was it October of?
I think it was the 2020 trip. I brought my baby. She was like tiny.
That's right.
Baby.
Okay. I did. And yes. And you had just hit 2-star.
Yeah. Like on the trip.
Okay. Yes. So I met Brooke and she had just hit 2-star. So on that trip, we were popping bottles, celebrating 2-star, which was so exciting. And then just this past Thursday, so we get her fresh from her 6-week qualification. She is now a 5-star diamond team. And if you're not familiar, yes, snaps for Brooke. If you're not familiar, 5-star is a huge accomplishment in the Beachbody world. And she and her team are just rocking it. And she's here to share how she built a productive team and to sort of just share and drop her knowledge bombs on us. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. And we're so excited to hear from you, Brooke.
You're so sweet. Thank you, Melissa. I told her, I'm like, this is my love language. I love sharing. I'm social worker by nature. I have my master's in social work, and I am all about, if I'm learning and doing something and it can help somebody else, like I might as well just share it. And this business is, holy man, it has been such a roller coaster. And I wanted to share just a little bit of my story, because sometimes I think it's easy to see people that are hitting these ranks like 2-star and 5-star without seeing the very messy middle in between to getting there. So I am all about keeping it real. If you guys message me ever, like I will answer you, I will talk. That's my favorite thing. I love just the individual conversation and getting to know people. And I want to say, whether you're brand new in this business or you've been here for a while, I think the most powerful thing that you can do is make connections with people. Like, see every coach that is on this team and in this network as a person that can become your friend, because we're all here for the same reasons. We're pretty much all here for the right reasons. And I feel like I always benefit when I sit and I talk with another coach, whether they're on my team, my upline team, somebody else's team. Like, I thrive on connections and relationships. And I really think that's partially why our team is here too, is because I never shied away from just getting to know everyone and just getting super excited about this journey. So before we begin, I want you guys to blow up the chat and talk to each other, ask questions, because I can't be boring and I want there to be some engagement. I want to hear about you guys. If anything comes up and you want to know more, just put it there. I'm going to drink some water. Yeah, Gabby, don't just rely on your upline. That's not their job. Like, it is your job to make friendships. Like, shout out to freaking Gabby for helping me through 5-star qualification too. I was messaging you a lot, a lot. Okay. So a little bit about my story. I have a very big weight loss story. I'm not even going to get into that, but that's what brought me here. I really want to talk about my coaching journey, because I feel like this is more important to share, so that you guys see, like, wow, she's a 5-star diamond coach. Like, how did she do that? I want to kind of paint the picture for you guys. So I started coaching after I did 21 Day Fix, my first real program, lost 7 pounds, and I had cake for my daughter's birthday and just fell in love. Hi, Ava. I see you. Sweet girl. And I started coaching. I think I signed up December 2018, and January 2019, I met with my coach, Brooke Anderson, on a one-on-one call. I was like, I want to pay for my shakes. I don't want my husband bothering me. And I just kind of went for it and started coaching. By the end of 2019, I had hit diamond. I left my job as a full-time school social worker. I really, really, really wanted to be home with my babies. My whole first year, as I was falling more in love with this coaching journey, I was like totally seeing that there was a gap with my professional life. Um, so that was a journey. And I just want to say, like, you guys do not have to quit your job to do this. I probably shouldn't have, honest to God. Like, I put us in a financial bind. I am going to be super serious because I had thought I hit diamond, I made it. No, like, no, it does not stop at diamond. So please, you guys, I know that's a big goal that a lot of people shoot for. No, that is like literally you putting the key into your car and beginning to drive. So, but it happened. God had a plan, and we got pregnant with our third baby. 2020 happened, as we all know. So I was homeschooling my oldest. My middle daughter was just trying to keep her alive while I was pregnant, figuring out all the things and trying to build this business. This year, or that year, 2020, I did end up hitting 2-star diamond. Funny story, you guys. I actually dropped my qualification for 2-star. And like I said, I was like financially, we were struggling hardcore with me leaving my job. So I was relying on that bonus to pay for Christmas gifts for my kids. I just kept saying, I'm like, I want to pay for my Christmas gifts. Like, I don't want to have to worry and stress about Christmas, because that for us is always a time of year where we'd rack up the credit cards, and it just was stressful. And I was 38 weeks pregnant. I woke up week 5. I would have been going into my final week of becoming a 2-star and getting that bonus, and I dropped it. And you know who dropped it? It was me. It was like I didn't have enough volume on my husband's account. Like, so little. I bawled my eyes out all day long, like completely just a mess, super pregnant, busted my butt. And I was like, what are we going to do now? And then the next morning, my daughter was born. Literally, it was like, hello, like God's plan, not mine. So yes. Oh, thanks, Megan. I came back stronger. It was like the week or two after that, we went right back into qualifications. We fixed it. We held it, celebrated at Destin that year. And then the next year I went to NLC. It was virtual because of the whole pandemic thing. So a couple of us girls met up in Iowa. We watched it virtually, and I was so pumped. I'm a high energy person. That's just who I am. So I was like, let's go. We're going 5-star this year. We've got this. Like, I am ready. We just hit 2-star, and it is time to go. You want to know what happened in 2021, you guys? I fell on my butt. I see kids. So I'm going to do my best to watch myself. I didn't hit 5-star. I barely made it out as a 1-star that year. My team fell apart. All of my workers stopped working. Everyone was burnt out. I was losing my coaches left and right. And all the people that I thought were going to be there to help were not feeling it. Nobody was in Success Club that year, maybe a couple times. I was like, what in the world happened? I thought this journey was supposed to be, you hit diamond, you hit 2-star, you hit 5, you hit 10, you hit 15, you just keep going and going and going. But no, 2021 was my reality check year. It was a humbling year, and it was hard. On top of having baby number 3, postpartum depression, just a lot of mental health things going on. So it was August of 2021 when I met with my corporate mentor, Tiffany, who she was new at the time. And she had sent an email to all of us, like 2 to 5-star, whatever people, like, hey, I'm new. I'm your mentor. If you want to meet, let's meet. And I said, you know what? I've got nothing else to lose. Like, I'm going to meet with her because I want to hit 5-star elite so bad, and I don't know what to do. So I met with her, we talked, and that call was, it's funny, we both talk about it. It was such a powerful call because she really was like, all right, we need to slow down, and I need you to go back, and I need you to talk to your coaches. She's like, pick 5 people on your team. I don't care if they're working or not. Meet with them and figure out what they want for their life. What do they want for their business? And really just take myself out of the equation. So I had been so focused on me and my team and hitting these goals and ranks. And she had me go back and say, no, you need to meet your people where you're at. Start from there, and then, keep moving forward. And that to me was mind blowing. So I did. I ended up meeting with 5 of my coaches, had some of the best conversations, and it was so cool. I remember one of my coaches, she's probably not on here, but she's always cheering me on, and we're always talking in the background. Her name is Brooke as well. And she shared with me like her vision and her goals of wanting to really like bring, health and wellness into the church. And she was really into this chiropractic stuff and science and like things I had never heard from her because I was so focused on like this and the business and success club and ranks and what's next and what's next. I didn't slow down to listen to her share what she wanted for herself and what set her soul on fire. And as she was talking, I could hear it in her voice. I heard her get to the level of excitement that I get to when I talk about coaching. Like, this is me. Like, if someone wants to talk about coaching, I will just like go for it. And I have to be like, okay, I got to slow down and stop myself. Unless you want me to keep going, I can go for another hour. But she was doing that with me. And it was so cool to just listen to her. My sister is on my team. Same thing. She did that with me. She just started sharing things that she was excited about. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I have been missing on my team. So I started to do things differently that year. End of 2021, we actually got like an email saying we could be re-invited to NLC in Vegas. And I was like, game. I'm the kind of person, if you give me a t-shirt or a cash prize, or you could win something, I will do whatever it takes to get there, or like a trip, I'll make it happen. So yeah, that's Melissa. That's why we click. We're like, how do I get that prize? So I did. We made it happen, threw it all back together to get to 1 star, just me and my husband working, no coaches working under me at that point. I think I just had my coach Ashley join that was like starting to run the business. Thank God she joined. She joined when I was like, I can't do this anymore. And she was ready for it after watching for 3 years. But I went to NLC and just came in with this whole new fresh perspective. I am forever thankful they gave us that opportunity, because I think that I needed that humbling experience to show up at NLC this year to really just focus on, okay, how am I going to work with my team? How am I going to do this with my team? Like, how am I going to focus on building the team that I want, creating the culture that I want to have, while also meeting my people where they're at and loving them. So I'm going to give you guys some tactical tips. I kind of broke it up into 2 parts when I did this call. And I talked a little bit about recruitment and onboarding. So this is like how to get productive working coaches on your team. So the first part is recruitment. If you guys want to get your notebooks and pens and papers now, like this is probably the good stuff and not me just rambling. But the first part of recruitment, I broke it down into 3 pieces. Talk about coaching constantly. I said, never stop talking about coaching. The second is know who your dream team member is. And the third is confidence. So number 1, talk about coaching constantly. If you don't talk about coaching, people are not going to know what you do. So that is something that you guys can start implementing today. And I am not saying post about coaching in every single post on your feed. Like, please don't do that. But I do want you to layer in coaching in your life. This is a part of your life, and you need to show people what this looks like for you. So for me now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I show it how I work in the cracks in my day. I showed them today, like I did a little video of like getting ready for team call, showed my notes, showed my computer, and my daughter watching Coco Melon, because my kids watch TV probably way too much, but it is what it is. So I am constantly finding ways to talk about what I'm doing as a coach on a daily basis, so people can see this is something that you're going to do on a daily basis. Like, this isn't just something that you do once in a while. This is like, this is my job. I view it as my job. So I'm always talking about it. So you need to find ways to start speaking about coaching and how you implement it and how you do it in your life. And it's going to look different from person to person. When I was working full-time as a school social worker, it looked way different than it does now. And I can go to the Y and bring my work to the Y. I barely work out at the Y, but I bring my work there. It's great. So that's number 1. Number 2, know who you want your dream team member is and speak to her. I'm going to give it to you straight. I am not about to give you guys an avatar training, because that would take forever. There are so many trainings on Google and YouTube. Personally, I did invest in Holly Hillier's Blueprint to Social Selling, because I knew that this is something that I wanted. And this was something that I felt like I was lacking in, is like how to really grow my Instagram engagement and speak to my avatar and niche. And I worked through that course like multiple times, like watched the modules over and over again. She did a little coaching thing for us. So I got on those calls and I asked her questions. Um, so I am definitely a person, like I am not afraid to invest in my business. Well, I lied. I am afraid. I've been afraid. I might have puked a little when I saw like what I was investing in, but I know that it's always going to benefit me on the back end, whether I learn something or not. So that's just how I roll. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So she does a really great job in teaching us like how to find your avatar, but there's also free resources on YouTube too. So you got to do what's best for you. But while you're creating your content on social media and while you're recruiting, you need to have a clear picture of who she is. So you need to get out a notebook, paper and pen, and you need to just start writing. And I don't view this as a waste of time. I use this as a valuable piece of time, because if you don't know who you're talking to and you're talking to everyone, you're going to really struggle to find your dream team members. So I got real specific and clear. I knew what my dream team members' pain points were. I knew what her strengths were. I knew what she was looking for in her life. And as I'm creating content now, I've really shifted my wording from just sharing my story and using my social media as my diary to how can I get her attention? How can I speak to her? And how can she see herself in my story? So that is something that, again, tons of trainings that are out there, but that is super critical. If you guys are like on social media and you're kind of like, I don't know who I'm talking to or who my avatar and niche is, like start taking 10 minutes a day to figure it out. Watch a training, write it down, create a post, see where it goes, and start finding who that person is and just doing that and making it a priority. The third thing is confidence. And I put this at the end because confidence doesn't, you're not going to just start with confidence. You need to do the action before you build confidence. So you need to put the posts out. You need to start talking about coaching before you are ever at the place you want to be. I literally, gosh, I have said like we are going to be 5-star elite for what, 2020 to 2022, 2 years, you guys, 2 years. I have said this is going to happen. I even think before that. Side note, another goal of mine is to get on the national wake up call. I've told my team 80,000 times, like, Sandy, I'm coming for you. I've been manifesting that since 2019. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but like that, you need to say it and be it before you become it. So that's how you're going to build confidence. The more you say it, the more you share, the more you talk about it, you're going to start feeling more confident. And then it's going to eventually just become more natural. But the confidence doesn't come until you do the work, until you actually implement and just get out there, put the messy work out and start trying. Okay. So hope that's okay. Oh my gosh. I'll go through questions at the end. I love seeing the little like things pop up. I'm also, I'll put in a good word with Doug. Okay. Now I'm scared. It'll be good. But we're going to switch over to the next piece of this. As far as, okay, you're recruiting coaches, right? So you're speaking to your dream team member like constantly, like you are going out there and you're talking to her. Now I'm going to talk about onboarding, keeping it simple, and what you guys can do now as far as getting coaches on. Because to be honest, I thought this was scarier. Like I could recruit coaches, get people on, do a sneak peek, but then it's like, okay, now what? Like I have this coach, and sometimes I feel like, we feel like, oh my gosh, all of our eggs are in this basket because we know the potential of having a working team and what it can do for us and how they can help us reach these awesome ranks. So I want to break it down for you on what I have been doing thus far this year. Is it always changing? Absolutely. Like I am a very fluid person. And if there's something that I see that looks like it works a little better, I'll tweak it. Nothing is ever set in stone. But I want to kind of tell you guys what I've been doing this year thus far that I believe have helped us with growing a productive team and going from a team that was not really working to like girls on my team that are like crushing it. Like Jenny Hazlitt on here and Shauna that was on here before. Like, I don't know, I still see Shauna like doing things that I never did as a brand new coach. Holy crap. They are just like coming in fire ready. And it's been amazing. So number one is have a simple onboarding system. So what I do when I get a new coach signed up is I send them a welcome email. I actually use Christina Delgado's checklist that she shared at NLC. I tweaked it and made it my own. I think I need to go back and look at it and probably tweak it again because I put a lot of things in there. But basically, what this does is this checklist helps me in the very beginning see where my new coaches are at and shows me how serious they are. So I have had girls that never check their email. I'll remind them, but that, I'm going to be honest, that shows me in the beginning, like, maybe this isn't a priority. But my girls that are rocking it and that have helped us get to 5 stars so far, they are the ones that are reading their email. They're going through the checklist and they're like, hey, I see this part about signing up my husband. How do I do that? And they're hitting Emerald faster than ever before because they know that this is serious. I'm serious. And then I can see that they're serious. So from there, I say, okay, let's schedule a one-on-one call. So I also gauge this person by person, but I communicate with them that I want them to go through the checklist before we set up a one-on-one, because I think that's a really good indicator to just gauge where they are at. And then I tell them, obviously, like, as you're working through this, if you have questions, please let me know, like, I will help you. But that has been like really, really awesome for my coaches just to get started. My second point, and I have 5. So the first one's simple onboarding. The second is, this is something my sister actually taught me. Clear is kind. Clear communication is kind. And the more clear you can be, and I mean like crystal clear in your expectations, in what you do as far as supporting your coaches, like, that is so crucial. And that needs to be something that happens on both ends. So I tell my new coaches, like, I need two-way communication. I tell them that in their welcome email. I tell them that when they sign up, because I am not here to handhold everybody. I have a group chat. I tell them I show up in there. If they ever need to ask me anything, I say you have to reach out, because I'm not here to chase people down. I can't. And when you guys start to grow and as you're building your business, and for those of you that are working, like, you can't just spend your time chasing people down. Like, first off, that's exhausting. And that is a sure way to burn out. So I tell them that I need clear communication from you. So if you're struggling, if you're sitting here and you're like, I don't know what to do as far as Success Club or social media, instead of getting overwhelmed and digging yourself into a hole, you need to reach out. You have to talk to me, or even better, lean into our team. And most of the time, I tell my people to go to our team chat, because usually if one person has that question, 9 other people have the same question. So I try to do that so that we can all learn together. But I think it's really helpful because it helps you prevent things from getting messy. When someone signs up, you think they're going to work the business. They say they're going to work the business, then they don't. You get frustrated. You're like, why isn't this person working the business? The clear communication helps. And just ask, have the conversation. Where are you at? What are you thinking? Like, this isn't me judging you. This is me, like, wanting to work with you. And if you're not all in, I'll meet you where you're at. Always. You can love people and meet them where they're at while still setting high expectations, which is also number 3 for me, is set high expectations. This is something that I was terrified to do, but after in January, after NLC, and after reading the 12-week year that Melanie Mitro had recommended on some podcast, I decided to do these like weekly leader meetings. And they were just going to be little checkpoints with my leaders that to just make sure that we were on course to hitting our goals. Yes, WHAMs, Melissa, thank you. That's what they were called. Oh my gosh, best chapter in the book. Honestly, I probably don't remember any other piece of it besides quarterly planning and the WHAMs. And that's all I really needed. And that has helped me up to this point. So when I decided I wanted to do those, I set some parameters and I put some pretty high expectations. I said, in order to be invited to these leader meetings, you have to be in Success Club the month before, and you have to be an active Emerald coach. Okay, guys, remember, like, vomit. I had nobody that was working the business. So like, for me, there was a moment of fear. I had one girl that was rocking it, and I almost changed it. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is too harsh. I want to be able to help everyone. I want to give some people grace, but also I say this with love. I built my freaking business with 2 kids and my husband is a cop. I was home. by myself. I was commuting 45 minutes a day. It like gets me emotional. So when I can have grace, I can give you love. I have also seen other people do this. It comes down to priority. It's just like working out. Is it a priority? Is it not? If it's not, I'm not going to judge you. That's on you. But I was done. I was done with working with people that weren't willing to put the amount of work in that I was looking for to get to this point. So instead of changing it, I bit my tongue and I was like, you know what? We're going to finish January. We're going to see who enters. I had 3 girls in and I was like, holy crap, this works. I had girls that were pushing and they were like, oh, she's serious. And I have been able to keep up with that for most of the year. Now, is that going to change? It might a little bit. We did it a little bit last month in July with Summit. It's been crazy. It hasn't come back up yet. But now that I have so many leaders that are rising up, I'm kind of looking at like, okay, how can I continue to serve like more women? But that, I think my lesson in that is to set those high expectations. Tell them if you are planning to work the business. I don't know, like maybe you put them on a priority list for one-on-one calls, or they get to do a special call with someone and you, or do some goal setting or goal planning, or maybe it's getting together in person to do some sort of celebration. I don't know. You guys can get creative and do what you want. But I think that if we set the expectation that this is what you need to do in order to be a working coach, they're going to do it. They're either going to do it or they're not going to do it. And they're going to understand because you're setting that bar for them right away. Yes, the 12-week year. I kind of see it popping up. Night night, Levi. They're so cute. Okay. Number 4 is celebrate everything. I literally try and do my best to celebrate everything and not just the big accolades. Although I try to treat Emerald like it's elite. Like when someone hits Emerald, like I'm making a graphic, I'm shouting them out, like I'm putting them in my stories, I'm talking about them because it's a huge accomplishment. But there are other things that you can celebrate too along the way, like their first post, first Success Club point, their first invite. Like, can I get an amen? Like they do their tracker for the first time. Like that deserves to be shouted out because what gets celebrated gets duplicated. So I always focus on not what's going wrong or what my team isn't doing. Like, oh, my team isn't doing this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, my girl Anne on my team has been in Success Club all freaking year. I will shout her from the rooftops every single day because she is rocking her business. I'm going to shout out the girl that is showing up, putting her transformation photo fearlessly every day, like my girl Shauna. Like she is rocking it and showing up on social. My girl Jenny, I am shouting her out because she hit diamond and she had a slip up and she just jumped right back in. Like that's the girl I want to shout out, the girl that is relentless, because that stuff's going to happen in this business. And the fact that she is getting back up, that is who I'm going to shout out. That is who I'm going to celebrate. And that's where I put my time and energy into, are the people that are working hard, because that is what I want on my team. And I don't want the excuses. I want to minimize the bad talk and the this sucks because I wanted lemon lime energized and not strawberry lemonade. Nobody on my team has said that, but like I don't focus on that. Like that's not, no, like that, I'm sorry, like this business has blessed me beyond measure. Like little things like that, like optimize and revitalize being out, like that is nothing. That, like, I'm not going to sit and complain about that. I'm going to shout out my girls that are working hard, and I'm going to celebrate all of the good in this business. So focus on celebrating, focus on the positivity. And if you guys have local people on your team, get together. I am so thankful I have a local team, and I try to work really hard to get girls that are close by. Because I love to get together with them. It's a really good excuse to get out of the house. But it's also nice because we're able to just bond outside of, working here and doing the Zoom stuff. We just celebrated when we hit 3-star. I was like, let's get together and do like a diamond dinner, and I can give you your gifts in person and not just mail them to you. So we got together. We've done play dates. We've gone to the pool. We always get together for Super Saturday. get together for Super Saturday. You need to do something. I don't care. Like, don't wait for your upline to do something for Super Saturday. You are going and you're bringing someone with you because you are a leader and you are making these events happen. I don't care if you have one person show up or 10. Like, you need to start acting like a leader and getting your people together and just celebrate everything. It is so fun. And I think that has been super helpful for our team. The last one is, I believe, the most crucial out of all of this. So if you guys got nothing from tonight, if this is like too much for you or too overwhelming, or maybe you're just like, that's a bunch of crap, I want you to walk away with this. You guys need to focus on what you can control in your business. Always focus on the controllable. And I'll be honest, as I'm sitting here talking, like, I'm usually talking to myself too, because I'm learning with you guys and I'm in the same boat. And this is something that I really, really learned from 2021, where my whole team fell apart. And I was so reliant on these certain coaches to get me to my goals, to now where we hit 5-star. I poured so much time and energy into my team. I stopped really focusing on phase 1. I'll be straight. I was doing some of the basics, but I felt like my life was dependent on these coaches working. And when they wouldn't, I would get frustrated. And I'm like, why? What can I do to help motivate them and excite them? And I even planned like a summit in Milwaukee to get us together. I'm like, this will bring the fire back. And if anything, I think it scared all of them. I think I scared them all. Just kidding. But I was so focused on that I lost focus on what I can control. And I think that has been a big shift that has helped us and our team, and has honestly helped me this year, is to always stay in that phase 1. So a lot of times there are things that happen in this business, but you can control your posts, your content, your invites, your connections, going to events, hosting events, setting expectations. Are you doing sneak peeks? Are you running them? When you start making the list of all the things you have control of in your business, you actually have so much control, more than you probably know. And I'll tell you guys, I honestly didn't think we were going to hit 5-star this year. Shout out to my girl, Melissa, for freaking like, within like 2 days, going from 3 active people to 12. I need to get her on a team call because it was amazing. But yeah, it was like, whoa, it was a total team effort. We were all cheering each other on. It was so great. But there was a point where I was like, you know what, this isn't going to happen right now. And I so badly wanted it to happen the first half of the year, so that the second half of the year I can plan for other goals that I have. And I got stuck. I was in a rut. I was like, we're so close. Like, why isn't this happening? Like, nobody else wants this. And I stopped myself. And I remember 2021, Brooke, and I said, no, I am not going to be her again. I am not going to sit here and rely on somebody to get to my goal. So you know what I did? I made a list of 100 people and I just started inviting like crazy, because that is something I can control. And I told myself, you know what? If this isn't going to happen now, it's going to happen. And I am going to find somebody to do it with me. Come hell or high water, I will go out there and I will make those connections. And I'm going to talk to more people, because it's math, you guys. The more people you talk to, the more people that can potentially join you. So that's what I did. I just focused on that. I felt better afterwards. I didn't feel like I've gotten that big old slump. I prayed daily, every day, for my sanity, because I'm not going to lie, being so close, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I just need to pray and focus on my business. Pray, focus on my business. Do what I can. Don't focus on anyone else. And through that, by the grace of God and just some work and communication, very clear communication with my team, it happened. We're here. And now we are going to pop like 10 bottles of champagne and Summit. It's going to be great, but not too much, because I want to be able to enjoy Shanti's workout without puking. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. You are amazing. Well, I know I have a few questions for you. When you said that you came to your team and said, hey, like, what are your goals? Or you didn't even say, this is my goal of hitting 5-star. You just said, these are my, or what are your goals? Were these people that were currently people that were sort of in and out of the business? Were these people in your challenge group? Were these people that you just invited to coaching? How did that look?
That was back in 2021 when Tiffany gave me that little assignment.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I bet I could find it in here. I'm not going to go searching because it'll take me forever. It was a combination. I had some new coaches, I had some old coaches, and then some that were in and out of the business. I do remember that. I remember 3 of those calls very specifically. Can't remember who all was, but it was a good mix. I remember of who I talked to, and I just kind of looked at my downline, made a list based on who was there, and yeah, just said like, hey, I'd love to chat and just hear what you're looking for and what you want. And just really did my best to focus on them and ask them questions and completely remove myself from the whole equation. So it was super cool.
That's awesome. So when you said that you have those high expectations for those weekly accountability meetings, but you also said you have a group chat, are the requirements different for each one?
Yeah. So I have right now, I have like a big group chat that's just for all coaches. Like that is anyone on my team that wants to work the business, that wants to learn, they can be in this group chat. And then for those weekly accountability meetings, I have a separate group chat. So I just kind of pop them up based on who hit the whatever SC and then held Emerald the month before. Then I would just say like, hey, this is our weekly accountability meeting chat. Like we're going to meet this day. Haven't done it yet this July, honestly, with Summit coming. I'm like, okay, I'm going to revisit what this looks like. And I actually have, now that I have 4 girls that are super close to Diamond or Diamond, and then 2 others that are super close. I'm like, okay, guys, like, let's just all pot up. I don't want to put you in 50 million group chats. So now I just have like that leader group for now. And then the big, everyone on my team that wants to, I just keep them up to date on everything.
I love that. I'm just so proud of you. I could burst. Does anyone else have any questions for Brooke?
One question, your accountability meeting, is that just like you're having that in the chat, or you actually meet like on Zoom or in person?
Yeah, we meet on Zoom, and it's actually, those are probably my favorites. Sometimes I'm like, do we really need to have it? But I felt it really did help us stay on track, or help me keep them on track. And I think the whole goal of those meetings was like, hey, what questions do you have for me? What are you shooting for? So I could help them course correct sooner versus like doing one-on-ones and then waiting a whole month. And then it's like, well, I just did a whole month of this and it didn't work, when we could have course corrected sooner. So it's been really helpful, I feel like, in that sense. And that's why I have those like requirements too, because I'm like, okay, like obviously like you are working and you're wanting to do this. So I'm like willing to meet with you to like keep you in that routine of getting to your goals. So yeah, we do it on Zoom. They're pretty laid back. Sometimes everyone joins, sometimes just one person joins, but then it's kind of cool because then we get like a one-on-one and I can go through their back office with them and we can chat. And yeah.
What's your process for getting coaches like duplicating Emerald, going Emerald? Like, how do you make that a big deal? What do you encourage the spouse sign up? Do you just like, I mean, what I like about your leadership is you're just like, you know, no filter, like this is how it is. You can't wait on your upline. Like, I need to do more of that. I've always wanted to be that kind of leader, but I'm more like, let's just go have a party.
I mean, I like that too about you, Megan. Don't get me wrong.
Like, but the truth is like, even through all the, so I'm gonna say a bad word, stuff I've been going through in the last couple months, like I literally feel like I can't get my life together, but I hit my business goals for my business. Always. I always will, because I know that's the consistent work, you know, even if I can only do a little bit, that's going to be it. But I struggle with duplicating that. You know what I mean? Like the importance of Emerald. I mean, just listening to you talk, I dropped the ball on recognition. Like there's a lot of stuff I get. I mean, this is my nine and a half year being a coach. So there's a little burnout there, but I mean, you are firing me up, and a lot of this stuff I'm like, oh my gosh, like I used to do that and I need to do more of it. But I'm just curious, like, because you talked about onboarding and all that stuff, but like getting coaches to realize the importance of that Emerald goal seems to be a little bit of a struggle lately. So I'm just curious on what you do, like cut to the chase, like, hey, you need to go Emerald and this is how you need to get there. And you need like, what do you say?
I think so. I send that email with the checklist, and I know I see some like comments in here too of people like send the checklist. I will get that with you guys. I have like a Canva that you can edit. I just tell them like this is what you need to do. You need to go to this email and Emerald. I don't even think it. I'll have to go back and look. Honestly, it's been so long. Like I haven't even looked at it, but I just kind of gauge like if they read it or not, and I can tell usually it's like make your first post and tag me, and they'll either just do it and tag me, or they will message me back and be like, what should I say? And I'm like, oh good, you're actually looking at this list. And then comes okay, let's have a one-on-one and talk about Emerald like ASAP. And I don't know what it is. I try to just, because I know for me honestly, and I know you know this too, like we know like that is like a baby step, and it is so simple. And I don't mean to like say it's so simple, but it is like, oh my gosh, especially like, I mean, as you go on in this business, you're like, I can make like 20 Emerald, not 20, but like 5 people top Emerald in like 2 days. Like it's just it's like 2 people, and it can literally be anyone. They don't even need challenge packs. They just need 50 PB. Like get 2 boxes of beach bars, mom, and let's share them with the kids. I don't know. Like I try to really simplify it, and also like say like this is like you're not really getting anywhere. It's kind of pointless if you don't do that. And then I also try to just really emphasize like just based on my experience being a coach too, that I mean SE's like that baseline to make sure you're always bringing people in and always making money. But like diamond's your first goal. Emerald is like that just shows me you're serious, like, and then we're gonna make you a plan to diamond. And then I don't know where from there.
Right. I like what Leah said. First step is sign up spouse. The other is to sign up your bestie. I mean, I signed up 2 of my besties when I went Emerald. And I basically said, when I went Emerald. And I was like, hey girls, I don't know what I'm doing, but I love you guys and we can run a challenge group together and have fun. And they're like, up.
Yeah.
And then they became my first 2 diamonds. So I just like think back to that. I don't know. Like I like your approach, and then I also like the approach of like just sign up, your besties, and sometimes they don't have the intention of running the business, but once they get in and you start doing challenge group, they're like, oh, maybe I am going to sign up my mom and my sister and my, whoever. So I do think like Emerald is a huge confidence booster, but I don't know. I just wanted to see if you had any different insight on like describing the importance of it to your coaches.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think it's something that, I don't know. I remember being newer too for me. I know something funny, you guys. I don't even think I went Emerald by myself. That's embarrassing. And here I am saying do it in like 24 hours. So I'll be super honest. Brooke helped me. But through that, I mean, you learn. And I used to never understand like Emerald being a decision. And I was like so scared to like tell people and ask them and whatnot. But as I was building, I'm like, well, duh, like I'm getting these customer leads. Like I'm making I know the team cycle bonuses are small in the beginning, but like you're not getting anything if you don't hit that. Like, it's the gateway to everything in this business. So, yeah, I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I like hearing your leadership style too. Just like, hey guys, this is my goal. And I've struggled with that too. Like going elite every year, it always seems like a me goal, but it's not. Like it paves the way for your coaches. Like, I mean, when you're an elite coach, you're clearly making a good income. And that's what they want. So like, why am I afraid to be like, hey, we need to go elite and this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
So,
I've totally gone through that too. I feel like that's like so normal. But then again, then I think about like Brooke, I'm like, oh my gosh, if she never would have hyped me up about that, like I wouldn't even be here. Like, it's so funny how our brain can be. Okay.
You have a couple of questions, I think, in the chat.
Yeah, well, somebody asked how you got your husband on board.
Oh my gosh, I could do a whole separate call on that. Oh, I'm so passionate about that. Prove it to him. Okay, that's like my short, like sassy response. Prove it. No, just do it. And that's what he told me actually when I signed up as a coach. I was like, should I? I don't know. I think I'd be good at it. Kind of like, and he's like, well, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't tiptoe in it. And I was like, okay, permission granted. Like, I'm gonna go for this. And do you mean like getting him on board with like just signing him up? Or like going on?
Yeah, it was like how to become Emerald, like how do I get my husband on board to have him be my first coach or whatever.
Oh, I just did it. There was he said go for it. And I did. And I signed him up and I said, this is what I was told to do. Like, obviously someone told me and she's successful. So I'm going to trust her because I have that trusting relationship with her. So I just kind of like, yeah, he is a coach. He brags all the time that he's such a good diamond coach. Better than me because
Mine jokes all the time too.
he's always like, is that my coach or yours? I'm like, okay, Stephen. He's coming to Summit for you guys that are going for the first 2 days. So he's finally going to be out of the dark and in the daylight with us.
Yay. Oh, that's funny.
Every time it's for him, he takes the check. That is hilarious.
I love it. Well, I'm going to stop recording. Thank you so much, Brooke. This was awesome.